Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time, we're back to reviewing another one of the old school, I would say call it old school comedies. This is one of the films that's actually a sequel. It's a franchise that I've known about for years, well, since back to the old cartoon. But I didn't really get around watching these movies that much, especially growing up. Growing up, I was familiar with the cartoon character, but not totally inversed with the movies themselves. So, but all the movies I've seen, there's nothing wrong with the lead character of what I'm saying, but I just wasn't really fully inversed with this series. But the one that I've watched the most, I consider my favorite. I only say it was my favorite in the series, though. But here I'm going to be talking about one of the sequels of the Black Panther, the Pink Panther. Yeah, the Pink Panther series. Now the one I'll be reviewing, which I have here, is the Pink Panther film collection here. This is a 6 DVD set I have right here, which contains the Pink Panther Special Edition, A Shot in the Dark, The Pink Panther Strikes Again, which I'm going to be talking about this review, The Revenge of the Pink Panther, and Trail of the Pink Panther. I know there's other ones like Son of the Pink Panther, but this is one that has some of them here. But what I'm be talking about is the one I've known the most from 1976, and that is right here, Pink Panther Strikes Again, from 1976, is the fifth one in the franchise. Of course, with this I know about the 2006 one with Steve Martin, and the sequel from 2009, But talk about the original, really quick about the original Pink Panther series. I've only known about the cartoon character. Growing up, I didn't know much about Blake Edwards' movies, except for Inspector Clouseau, though. But I wasn't really fully versed with these movies, so I know. But it stars Peter Sellers as the iconic character of Inspector Clouseau, in which I like Peter Sellers. He's a very good, unique character actor. He can play different minorial characters. Especially here, he's playing a French, inspector, or Murder by Death, which I reviewed a while back. He plays a Chinese, or Dr. Strangelove, Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. As a German scientist. My fear, I can walk. So Peter Sellers, he's a really great character actor. Rest in peace, Peter Sellers. So, yeah, just a really good character actor. He can play different roles and accents and all that stuff. So, and the one I remember most, like I said, I'm not fully versed with these movies, but the one I remember watching the most was The Pink Panther Strikes Again, and released in 1976. Positive reviews it got. It has a 76% Rotten Tomatoes, a 7.2 on IMDb. And in this film, so talking about this one, it opens up with Chief Inspector Dreyfus, played by Herbert Loam, which I've seen this guy before. Which he was actually in David Cronenberg's The Dead Zone, Stephen King's The Dead Zone, with Christopher Walken. He was the doctor that was help Christopher Walken recover from his accident, and tells him about his supernatural powers that he has gotten. And later at the end, he asks him, about Hitler. If you know all the stuff today, would you go back and kill him? And then Herbert alone says, no choice but to kill this son of a bitch. Yeah, so that guy, he was in Stephen King's The Dead Zone with Christopher Walken. He plays Inspector Dreyfus. He has played Inspector Dreyfus for a lot of these movies here. But this one, after in this film, because after the previous film, he's gone stir crazy over his obsession of killing Inspector Clouseau. He's in a mental asylum. he says he's doing better. You know, that he's ready to get out over Clouseau, but until when Clouseau shows up, you know, knocks him in the head, into the water, makes it fall in the water 2-3 times, even with the old rake in the face, and then he just snaps once again. He wants to kill Clouseau, you know, kill him, you know. So, and then it opens up with the old the classic Pink Panther thing. That's another classic thing that I also remember, you know. Yeah, that is a classic theme. And with the whole thing in the cartoon, of what, you know, Inspector Clouseau with the actual Pink Panther, which you get a little, it's in this movie theater. You get a lot of references from other movies. So. And then back to our movie, Inspector Clouseau going to his apartment. Inspector Dreyfuss has escaped from the asylum. He's trying to kill Clouseau. He's on the floor below him, so he's got a little periscope, you know, seeing what Clouseau was doing. And Clouseau, you know, he's like making a mess of his house because he has his roommate, you know, his guy who's you know, keeping him alert and vigilant, you know. Named Kato, played by what was the guy's name? He was actually the guy was actually Burt Kwouk. Mispronounced his last name. He was actually the last one we did was actually in Wake of Death with Van Damme. And he was also in Kiss the Dragon with Jet Li. He was the guy who let, you know, Jet Li was staying at his place. I was like, oh, I recognize him. That's the guy from the Pink Panthers films as Kato. Yeah. Sadly, he passed away in 2016, sadly. And this is where, again, really a fun scene where Inspector Clouseau and Kato, they're like fighting each other, or making a mess of the apartment, you know, breaking everything, you know. You know, with Clouseau, he has nunchucks, and then Kato has this big stick, and you get some fast motion, you know, where they're showing their moves really fast, and then also getting slow motion. You know, Clouseau slowly hits him, and keeps him going, then Kato sticks the stick into the TV, causes it to explode, and you know, you know, and then where Dreyfuss, he sees it and he also gets knocked down in slow motion. And then Clouseau goes up, as he falls down, he gets up, goes and screams in Kato's face like, ah! And just when they're about to fight again, then the phone rings, and then they just all of a sudden stop, and Clouseau's like, it's the phone. The phone is ringing. He tells Kato to get it, then it goes into a sneak attack, and just goes and whacks him in the back of the head. And then he gets informed by the commissioner that Dreyfuss escaped. Then he goes into he's going to try and kill him. Goes into this hunchback costume. Then the hump inflates so much that he's on the phone, and the hump inflates so much that he lifts him off the floor and carries him out the window, and he's not even realizing it, not yet. And then realizing, oh crap, and then accidentally sends the phone and makes Dreyfuss knock the whole building, causing it to explode. Really good effect of the whole building exploding. That was a very good explosion. Of course, that would be CGI nowadays, because everything is CGI explosions. So yeah, I give credit back then, because back then you had to do real explosions. Hello. But it was a good explosion of the building, and then in Kato, he's still alive. Clouseau says he's going to be in the hospital for weeks though. And he comes back at the end of the film. And basically what Dreyfuss he's done, he's kidnapped this guy, this professor, and his daughter. They hide out in this castle to create this doomsday machine. That first which he says true to his word, he disintegrates the UN building, the United Nations building, disintegrates it from going top down to the bottom. And all he wants is, his one demand is how crazy the guy is in it, because if he doesn't want any more destruction, he said he could wipe out the whole city after, or if he wants to. All he wants is he just wants Clouseau dead. That's all he wants. He doesn't want no power or money or anything. All his one demand is, in order for this to stop, he just wants Inspector Clouseau dead. That's it. Because that's how far crazy Clouseau has made him. So yeah, all that is just that one demand. He wants Clouseau dead. Give me Clouseau. So they have all these trained assassins from different countries, which leads to Clouseau. He goes to Munich at the Oktoberfest, and you have all these assassins, trained assassins, which I do believe that they were. I know that they're killing the one assassin's like killing off another assassin, because I guess they want to be the one to be rewarded. I guess that the one to kill Clouseau. That's why they're killing other assassins off, like at the Oktoberfest. Like this one Chinese guy is about to shoot Clouseau, and this one guy with the knife shoe stabs him, and this one sniper is hidden and shoots that one guy too. So I think they're trying to kill. One assassin's trying to kill off one or the other, because they want to be the one to kill Clouseau. Then in a crowd, you have this one guy dressed as a woman with knives coming out of the fake, booze, basically. And then you have this one midget guy dressed as Robin Hood. I think it's actually the midget one. It's actually played by Deep Roy, who plays, years later, goes and plays the Oompa Loompas in Tim Burton's remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I believe that's actually Deep Roy who plays that small midget, because Clouseau thinks that's a child, and one guy in the band shoots the dart from a clarinet into a Deep Roy in the back. So yeah, that was Deep Roy, who played the Oompa Loompas. And then you get another good funny bit where the two more assassins, they follow him into the bathroom, where all three takes one stall. Like Clouseau's in the middle, and the two are on each of the side, right? And they're just about to shoot him. Like Clouseau, he drops some toilet paper. As soon as he ducks down, they both shoot each other, and they both drop dead on either side. So yeah, those are the fun bits of the Oktoberfest. Very fun. Although I do see the best part of the movie was when Clouseau and Kato were fighting each other. That's the best part for me. So they all fail one after the other, and then you get another attempt where this guy who is a bank robber disguises as Clouseau, and he goes into his room, and this one other assassin mistakes him as Clouseau and shoots him, and then the one this female assassin played by Lesley-Anne Down, which I've heard that name from before. Guess seduces the guy. So I don't know what her role is. I guess she wishes assassin, but I guess seduces that guy thinking he's Clouseau. And until the real Clouseau comes in, and things get a little, between him and her. And then finds out where Burt drives is at, and you get this little funny where he's trying to get across the moat. Like he tries to use a rope and he ends up falling in the water. And he tries to go in this boat, and then there's a drawbridge comes down. He crushes him in the boat, or gets this big stick, tries to go across it, which is pointless. And then he disguises himself as a dentist and mistakenly, because him and Inspector Drivers get hopped up on laughing gas, basically, and pulls the wrong tooth. It's like, only one person in the world can get the wrong tooth. It's in Clouseau. Kill him! And then, while still laughing, then it says that the doomsday machine, Inspector Clouseau messes it up, just sets off and hits him as well as the castle. and then the whole building starts to disintegrate. Everybody gets out, and then Clouseau, as the drop is going up again, he falls back into the water again. and then Inspector Dreyfus disintegrates, which it does make sense. I know it's for comedy though, but he disintegrates into thin air. But then in the sequels, he still comes back. It's a nitpick though, because I know it's a nitpick, but he's trying to be continuity because he disintegrated into thin air. How can he come back for that? But he's still alive in the sequels later. I know it's a nitpick though, but I'm not fully versed with the I didn't watch too much of these movies. That's the thing. So I could just get this okay. But he's doing it just for the comedy though. It's like the nitpick of the title, like Pink Panther Strikes Again. That doesn't make sense, but it's a nitpick. But I'm just pointing out. I'm not bothered by it. And at the end, where his whole apartment is fixed, and the room has been, the bedroom has been renovated, and Lesley-Anne Down's there, wants to get it on with Inspector Clouseau. Clouseau, he has like trouble getting his clothes off, like there's a problem getting his tie up. He has a pier. And then Kato, now he's fully healed, he tries to do a surprise attack while both of them are in bed. Like, Kato, you imbecile, not now! And it causes the bed, to fold up. It's one of those beds that folds up into the wall. Causes the bed to fold up into the wall so much that it breaks the wall and the other side, and they both fall out of the building and back into the water. And then it comes back to the Inspector Clouseau, the cartoon version of Inspector Clouseau. He's in the water, and you get the little homage of Jaws. There's a pink montage in the poster of Jaws. The pink Clouseau's here, and the Pink Panther is like the shark, from below him, mimicking the poster. And so yeah, and the movie basically. So yeah, so the Pink Panther Strikes Again. I had fun with the sequel, with this sequel. Now I didn't watch many of the sequels though, and I don't think my dad. I have to ask my dad, because I know he's seen the movies, but I don't think I remember him watching it too much. I know he's seen it. I know he saw A Shot in the Dark, and I think Pink Panther Strikes Again. I think that's his favorite sequel as well. So, but the Pink Panther Strikes Again, I thought it was a fun Pink Panther movie. Because Peter Sellers, I thought he did a really good job as Inspector Clouseau. Being the oblivious one. Especially, I forgot to mention, during the whole Oktoberfest, he was so oblivious to everything. He didn't know whatsoever that assassins were trying to kill him, because he's that oblivious and just mind his own business. Or I forgot to mention where he was inspecting that professor's house. I forgot to mention this scene where he's inspecting that professor's house that got kidnapped, right? And he's doing, it was one of those gymnastics things where you I forget what those things are called, but you do you lift yourself up over and over. He's right next to a staircase, so he leaps over, falls right down the staircase, and tumbles down. And he's talking to the people of the household. He steps on this old lady's foot, or waxes beekeeper. And then he gets his hand caught in the vase, where he actually hits himself, and then actually makes a shotgun, actually fires up this one guy, shoots him right in the ass. So, yeah, I mentioned that though. But yeah, the Pink Panther Strikes Again, I thought it was a fun sequel. Like I said, I enjoyed especially the fight between Clouseau and Kato. Ah! Or we just like for screws the face. Ah! So yeah, Peter Sellers, he did a good job. He's a great character actor. He is, and he did a good job as he is Inspector Clouseau. Steve Martin, I know he's from his Saturday Night Live stuff, but he's not Peter Sellers. Let's get that right. Imitation fine, but he's not Peter Sellers. Well, although I like Steve Martin though, but he's like I said, he's not Peter Sellers. I know I'm repeating myself though, but still, I'm just trying to get my point across. But yeah, Peter Sellers did a good job, and I like Burt Kwouk as Kato was fun. Was fun his role. Hubert Lom as Inspector Drivus. He did a good job. And then Lesley-Anne down. She was fine as well. Saying we're trying to seduce Inspector Clouseau. But yeah, Pink Panther Strikes Again. I enjoyed this sequel, although I have to watch the other movies because I never watched the other movies that much. It's Strikes Again is one I watched the most. I watched that sequel a lot of times because that's the only one I know the most of, and I just had to watch the other films later, because I hadn't watched them fully too much growing up. Well, I never watched them growing up. Not until a little later. I just only seen very little of the other films. So, yeah. But the Pink Panther films, I know it's a classic franchise, especially for Peter Sellers and Inspector Clouseau. But I know the classic theme is classic. Peter Sellers is the best part of this franchise. But Pink Panther Strikes Again is definitely my favorite, easily, because I've watched the most actually. So, but that's my review on Pink Panther Strikes Again. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next movie review. Later.